Welcome everybody to TobattoVision's Thanksgiving Day Feast. As the leaves turn golden and the air chills, we're warming up the buttered milk duds in order to bring you a Thanksgiving extravaganza like no other. Get ready for a holiday special packed with heartwarming stories, delicious recipes, and a dash of unexpected surprises that will make this Thanksgiving one for the books. So grab your favorite holiday snack, settle in with your loved ones, and let's kick off the festivities with a toast to gratitude, family, fun, and of course, a whole lot of kooky, ooky, and spooky. Welcome to your Thanksgiving Day Feast, right here, only on TobattoVision.
Pumpkin pie with eyes blinking in the crust, mashed potatoes bubbling, turning dreams to dust. Candles flicker eerie, casting shadows just. Gravy like thick mud in this twisted dust. Feast of dread was screaming in the night. TobattoVision's terror feast, a horrid sight. Thanksgiving's now a nightmare, twisted fright. Run away, the gobble's got a bite. Carving knives are dancing in the cabaret. Children's laughter echoes now a twisted play. A cornucopia fills what goes dismay. Run, it's time to flee this haunted holiday.
Let's talk about Thanksgiving. Not the holiday, but the long-awaited slasher from Eli Roth that finally brings his infamous Grindhouse trailer to life. Now don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled this movie finally got made, but I've got to be honest, something about it feels like a missed opportunity. Let's talk about it. Thanksgiving, the long-awaited 2023 slasher that finally gave us the carnage promised by Eli Roth's unforgettable fake trailer from Grindhouse back in 2007. First off, let me say how glad I am that this film does exist. Seriously, it felt like we were stuck in perpetual holiday limbo, waiting for Roth to finally carve up a proper Thanksgiving-themed horror flick. And now that it's here, with Patrick Dempsey, Addison Rae, and a masked killer turning a small Massachusetts town into a feast of blood and mayhem. But as much as I'm grateful that the film actually exists, I can't shake this nagging thought that it's all a bit of a missed opportunity. Here's the thing, the original Thanksgiving trailer wasn't just a pitch for a slasher, it was an experience. It captured the raw, disturbing, low-budget Grindhouse aesthetic perfectly. The grainy visuals, the over-the-top gore, the dark humor, it felt like a forbidden VHS tape you'd stumble across in some seedy video store, half scared to rent it because it looked cursed. The 2023 movie, while fun and well-made, doesn't really attempt to match that vibe. Instead, it's polished, clean, and dare I say, a little too modern for its own good. Which is fine, just not what I was hoping for, and not what I was expecting. The kills are inventive, the pacing is solid, and it delivers plenty of gruesome fun. Eli Roth does know how to craft a slick, entertaining slasher, but where's the grit? Where's that unsettling, grimy atmosphere that made the original trailer feel so wrong in the best possible way? That trailer had a raw, almost DIY quality that felt like it was made by maniacs for maniacs. It was darkly humorous, deeply unsettling, and utterly unique. The movie, on the other hand, feels like it's playing things a bit too safe, more mainstream than Grindhouse. And look, I get it. A feature-length movie has to appeal to broader audiences, but part of the magic of Grindhouse, and especially those fake trailers like Thanksgiving, was their unapologetic weirdness. Roth's trailer was a loving homage to exploitation cinema, dripping with absurdity and shock value. That spirit doesn't really translate here. The 23 film opts for a more traditional slasher formula, which does work fine, but it doesn't capture the raw chaos of its origins. I can't help but compare it to other Grindhouse trailer adaptations, like Machete or Hobo with a Shotgun. Those films leaned hard into the exaggerated, trashy energy of their source material, and while they weren't perfect, they felt like they belonged to the Grindhouse lineage. Thanksgiving doesn't quite go there, and that's what keeps it from being truly filthy in the Grindhouse sense. It's good, but it's not the unhinged, blood-soaked fever dream I'd hoped for. That said, again, I'm still thrilled we got to see John Carver in action. It's fun, it's brutal, and it's got enough slasher spirit to make it a worthy addition to the holiday horror rotation. But man, I wish it had embraced the raw, disturbing charm of that '07 trailer. A little less polish, a little more grit, and this could have been a Thanksgiving meal for the ages. Instead, it's more like a well-catered dinner. Delicious, sure, but missing that homemade chaos that makes a feast absolutely unforgettable. I'm still stoked for the sequel though, am I right? If you're a fan of The Simpsons, then you're in for a real treat today. We're diving into one of the most uniquely entertaining episodes of The Simpsons to ever air, the Thanksgiving of Horror. This episode isn't just a festive special, it's a groundbreaking twist on the Treehouse of Horror tradition that takes us through past, present, and a hilariously horrifying future of Thanksgiving. So, grab your favorite spot on the couch, maybe some leftover turkey and some cranberry sauce from dinner, and let's explore this delightful blend of terror and turkey, satire and stuffing, and why Thanksgiving of Horror is not just a fantastic episode, but a truly innovative piece of storytelling in the world of Springfield. Oh, Thanksgiving of Horror. What an absolute gem of an episode from the annals of The Simpsons history. You know, when they first announced they were doing a Thanksgiving special in the style of a Treehouse of Horror episode, I was intrigued, but nothing could have prepared me for the brilliance that unfolded. There I was, comfy on my couch, expecting the usual Simpsons family antics centered around turkey and stuffing. Instead, what unfolded was nothing short of a narrative feast, a trio of tales, each more inventive than the last, served up with the typical Simpsons satirical spice. First, we were thrust back in time, watching a harrowing survival story in Agabalipto, a play on Apocalypto. Imagine it, The Simpsons as turkeys. It was ludicrous, yet so fitting, a dark mirror reflecting the perilous fates of those festive birds. The blend of humor and horror was just exquisite, each gobble in frantic flutter against the backdrop of pilgrims poised to pounce. It was animated artistry at its finest. Then, the shift to a Black Mirror-esque tale with the artificial intelligence Marge. Oh, the layers here. It was a technological tango of trust and treachery, woven with witty nods to our digital dystopias. Seeing Marge battle her silicon doppelganger, only to be outshined and nearly undone, it struck a chord about our own insecurities in this age of artificial everything. And just when I thought I'd seen it all, they catapulted us into the cosmos with The Last Thanksgiving. A cranberry sauce creature in space? It's ludicrous, yet there we were, rooted in our seats, laughing and gasping as this gelatinous ghoul gobbled up our beloved characters. It was a Thanksgiving twist no one could predict, combining cosmic horror with cranberry sauce, a bizarre but brilliantly tasty choice. Each segment was a narrative delicacy, reflecting not just the versatility of The Simpsons, but also their undying ability to resonate, entertain, and even unsettle. As each story unfolded, I found myself more and more thankful for innovation, for satire, and for The Simpsons, who've never been afraid to push the envelope, or the turkey. And in the end, amidst the chaos and cranberries, it was not just about the laughs or even the scares. It was a reflection on tradition, on the stories we tell, and the bizarre ways we celebrate. This episode, this Thanksgiving of Horror, was a reminder why, after all these seasons, The Simpsons remains a staple in our homes, regardless of the ever-diminishing quality of the show over the past 2.5 decades. What a feast it was indeed. Thanksgiving. The food is great, the family time is, well, let's call it eventful. But let's be honest, what truly makes the holidays special are the traditions. And for me, nothing says Thanksgiving quite like planes, trains, and automobiles. This movie is more than just a classic, it's a rite of passage. It's hilarious, heartfelt, chaotic, and somehow it captures everything we love, and sometimes dread, about the Thanksgiving season. I've been watching it every single year since I was a kid, and I can confidently say it is the perfect Thanksgiving movie. No debate. And today, we're doing something a little special. We're temporarily switching over to TobattoVision TV, since this is a non-horror subject, in order to give you the full breakdown of why this film belongs at the top of your Turkey Day watch list. So grab a plate of leftovers, settle in, and let's dive into the greatest Thanksgiving tradition ever put on screen. Welcome to TobattoVision TV. Ah, Thanksgiving, a time for gratitude, family, and, if you're like me, a little tradition that's as warm and essential as the turkey on the table. Watching planes, trains, and automobiles. This isn't just a movie, it's the Thanksgiving movie, the cinematic equivalent of pumpkin pie with whipped cream. Comforting, hilarious, and a little bittersweet. Every single year since I was a kid, I made it a point to revisit this masterpiece. Back then, I didn't fully grasp its nuances. I just thought it was funny watching Steve Martin's uptight Neil Page go toe-to-toe with John Candy's affable, yet maddening Del Griffith. I laugh at the shower curtain rings, the burnt-out car, the legendary "those aren't pillows" scene. But as I grew older, the movie grew with me. The humor still lands perfectly, don't get me wrong, but now I see the heart at its core. The desperation to get home, the frustration of plans unraveling, and the profound loneliness that hides beneath Del's endless optimism. That's the beauty of this film. It's not just a comedy, it's a journey. Not just across the Midwest, but through the human condition. It balances laugh-out-loud moments with genuine emotion in a way that few movies can. John Hughes, who's better known for his teen dramas, somehow created an adult comedy that resonates universally, no matter where you are in life. And the performances? Steve Martin and John Candy are simply untouchable here. It's impossible not to feel something when Neil finally realizes the truth about Del. And that ending? A gut punch wrapped in a hug. But why Thanksgiving? Most holiday movies are about Christmas, or even Halloween, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles owns Thanksgiving because it captures what the holiday is really about. The messy, imperfect, and sometimes hilarious ways we connect with the people in our lives. It's about gratitude, even when things go wrong. It's about finding a place where you belong, whether that's your family dinner table or the bond between two strangers. Every year, I carry on this tradition. It's a ritual that ties me to my childhood, but also to the idea of Thanksgiving itself. I watch it for the laughs, yes, but also for the reminders, to embrace the chaos, to forgive the small annoyances, and to be grateful for the people in my life, no matter how strange or different they might be from me. It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without this movie. By the way, if you love planes, trains, and automobiles as much as I do, make sure you check out my full review over on TobattoVision TV. Link to the review in the description below. Dive in and let me know what this movie means to you because, trust me, it's one tradition that never gets old. Oh, and let me just say this. There's one moment in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that's always stuck with me in the weirdest way. You know the scene where Neil and Del stay at their first hotel together? The room is cramped, tensions are high, and everything about the situation screams awkward discomfort. But then there's that moment. The camera pans up to John Candy's face, and for just a split second, he gives this sinister, almost menacing look directly at Steve Martin's POV. It's so fleeting you'd almost miss it, but it lingers. It's like the film momentarily steps out of its comedic tone into something truly eerie, and it's always left me feeling unsettled. It doesn't quite fit with the rest of the movie either, which is probably why it sticks out so much. It's almost as if Del's character, so warm and hapless throughout the film, briefly takes on this otherworldly, creepy vibe. What's going on in his mind right then? Who knows? It's one of those tiny, unexplainable details that makes this movie endlessly fascinating to revisit. Every time I see it, it still gives me a little shiver, right before I go back to laughing. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, with its infamous blend of horror and dark humor, could arguably be considered an unexpectedly perfect fit for Thanksgiving viewing. At its core, the series showcases a family that epitomizes the twisted side of togetherness, sticking together, hunting together, and yes, even dining together, albeit on food far different from your traditional Thanksgiving turkey. Each installment of the series typically features a grotesque family dinner scene, serving up a macabre twist on the communal meals that define Thanksgiving. This bizarre reflection of a family gathering highlights a darkly humorous, if not horrific, parody of the holiday's themes of unity and gratitude. It's an exaggerated, eerie mirror to the sometimes fraught family dynamics and intense preparations that characterize traditional Thanksgiving celebrations. So while most families are passing around stuffing and cranberry sauce, the Sawyer family passes around, well, their victims. It's a grim reminder that no matter how dysfunctional our own family gatherings might seem, at least they don't involve chainsaws and terror. The franchise's ability to mix horror with a side of satire makes watching it an oddly fitting way to acknowledge the chaos and, yes, the closeness that can come with family holidays such as Thanksgiving. Dog will hunt. Alright everyone, welcome back to Tobato Eats, where we make magic happen in the kitchen, or in this case, in a single glass. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into a Thanksgiving tradition of mine. It's festive, it's fun, and it's a little unconventional. Get ready, because we're whipping up my Thanksgiving apple cider milkshake without the milk. Now, before we jump in, let me set the stage. I've been making this beautiful milkshake every Thanksgiving for over a decade now. It's a crowd pleaser, so let's get into it. Here's what you'll need. Apple cider, about 2 cups, or go rogue, it's your shake. Vanilla ice cream. I like mine creamy and smooth, no fancy specks of vanilla bean here. You'll want 2 to 4 scoops, adjust to your heart's desire. A large, preferably chilled glass, because we're staying classy, folks. A blender, or, wait for it, a fork. Yes, we're going old school milkshake today. An optional but totally encouraged, whipped cream and pumpkin pie spice for that extra festive touch. Ready? Here we go. Start by scooping 2 to 4 glorious scoops of vanilla ice cream into your glass, or your blender if you're feeling fancy. Pour in your apple cider. About 2 cups is perfect, but if you want it thicker, use less. Want it runnier? Add more. No judgment here. And now for the fun part. Blend it. Or, if you're like me and love a challenge, grab your fork and mix away by hand. Watch as the apple cider and ice cream transform into a creamy, dreamy milkshake right before your eyes. Forks are very underrated, trust me. Once your shake is perfectly smooth, or as smooth as a fork allows, it's time to get fancy. Top it with whipped cream, pile it high, no one's stopping you, and sprinkle on a dash of pumpkin pie spice for that extra Thanksgiving flair. And there you have it, your very own apple cider milkshake. No milk required, and no rules followed. Sip it straight from the glass or grab a straw and savor that festive flavor all night. It's sweet, it's tangy, and it's sure to make your holiday a little brighter. Now go on, give it a try, and if you love it or hate it, let me know in the comments below. I'll be here enjoying my shake with a fork in hand. Cheers, and happy Thanksgiving. The Garfield Thanksgiving and the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving specials are beloved classics that have captured the hearts of audiences for generations. Both specials offer a charming, humorous take on the holiday season that resonates with viewers of all ages. Garfield's Thanksgiving finds our favorite lasagna-loving cat in a typical bind as he navigates a Thanksgiving feast that goes hilariously wrong. Garfield's antics and his eternal quest for more food add a lighthearted comedic touch to the holiday's traditional themes. Long live Grandma. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving provides a poignant reminder of the holiday's deeper values through the eyes of Charlie Brown and his friends. Despite a comically unconventional feast of toast, popcorn, and jelly beans, the true spirit of Thanksgiving shines through. The importance of togetherness, gratitude, and love. Both specials highlight the lighter, more humorous side of a holiday that can sometimes feel overwhelmed by its own reputation and the stress of perfect preparations. They remind us that Thanksgiving isn't just about the grand feast, but also about enjoying the simple joys and mishaps of spending time with loved ones. Let's take it down a notch and talk about something that's been slightly bothering me for the last decade or so as I grow older and older. Thanksgiving feels less special these days, and as a 37-year-old man reflecting on the evolution of this holiday in my life, it seems the reasons are layered with both personal and societal changes. When I was younger, Thanksgiving was a beacon of excitement, signaling the start of the holiday season with all its anticipation and cheer. It was a day of bustling kitchens, the aroma of turkey roasting, and the warmth of family gatherings. It didn't matter that we were always broke. There was always food in the kitchen cooking, magic in watching the parades on TV, followed by the adults watching football games echoing through the house as I played Super Nintendo. Now, the dynamics feel different. The charm has faded somewhat, overshadowed by the hectic pace of life and the commercial push that seems to rush us straight from Halloween and right into Christmas. The gatherings are smaller, perhaps due to family members moving away or the complexities of modern life making travel and organization tougher. There's also the fact that family members have passed away over the years, which does tint the holiday with a shade of sadness. The simplicity of enjoying a day off with loved ones now competes with the constant connectivity demands of our digital world. It's harder to disconnect, to truly relax and engage in the present when emails keep coming and social media beckons. Moreover, as I've grown older, so too have my responsibilities. The holiday isn't just about enjoyment, it's also about preparation, cleaning, and managing family dynamics. Despite these changes, there's a yearning to capture some essence of what made Thanksgiving special. It's about creating new traditions that honor the spirit of gratitude and togetherness, even if the holiday's shape and color have shifted with time. And with all that said, becoming a father has profoundly reshaped my perspective on the holidays, especially Thanksgiving, where once the season might have begun to feel redundant or commercial, it now glows anew through the eyes of my children. There's a special kind of magic in seeing their excitement for the parade, their wonder at the spreads of food, and their simple joys in what the day means. As we teach them about gratitude and togetherness, these holidays begin to regain their sparkle, reminding me of their true essence. It's not just about traditions or a sumptuous meal, but about creating memories that will warm their hearts and mine for years to come. This revitalization of Thanksgiving, grounded in the act of sharing it with my children, turns each holiday into a cherished chapter in our family's ongoing story. And I hope the same is happening for you. Let me ask you something. What is the perfect soundtrack to your perfect Thanksgiving holiday? Is it some mellow acoustic playlist? Maybe some generic background jazz? A lo-fi mix? Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, Thanksgiving sounds like shredding guitars, screaming vocals, and anthems so loud they drown out the chaos in the kitchen. That's right, I'm talking about Kiss's Animalize. Now look, it's not my #1 favorite Kiss album. That spot belongs to Crazy Nights, believe it or not, but it's easily in my top 5 nonetheless. And somehow, it's become my go-to record for the Thanksgiving season. Why? Because Animalize is everything Thanksgiving is. Loud, indulgent, and totally unhinged in the best way. So grab a drumstick, crank up the volume, and let me tell you why this album is the perfect companion for your Turkey Day holiday feast. And in order to do this right, we're shifting gears over to TobattoTunes. So with all that said, let's dive in. While some folks are spinning mellow tunes to match their cozy post-turkey comas, or lo-fi jazz playlists to de-stress before family arrives, I'm cranking up Kiss's Animalize, a record that's somehow become my unlikely Thanksgiving go-to. Now, is it my #1 favorite Kiss album of all time? No. The honor belongs to the aforementioned Crazy Nights. But Animalize, oh, it's easily in my top 5, as I said before. And let me tell you why it's the perfect soundtrack for this Turkey Day holiday feast. First off, Thanksgiving is chaotic. You've got dishes clattering, relatives debating who made the best stuffing, and your kitchen feeling like a pressure cooker ready to blow. Enter Animalize. This album isn't here to politely sit in the corner. It kicks the door open with "I've had enough" into the fire, and sets the tone for tackling the day head on. It's high energy, unapologetically loud, and exactly what you need to turn your cooking frenzy into a full-on rock and roll montage. But here's where it really clicks for Thanksgiving. The album is pure decadence. Much like the holiday itself, it is all about excess, layered riffs, bombastic vocals, and songs that demand you live in the moment. Take Heaven's on Fire, for example. That's not just a song, it's an anthem for that sweet spot between dinner and dessert when you've unbuttoned your jeans and decided, yeah, you are going for that second slice of pie. It's indulgence personified, and isn't that what Thanksgiving is all about? And let's not forget the deep cuts. Thrills in the Night and Under the Gun are like the cranberry sauce of this album. Not the first thing you think about, but absolutely essential once you dig right in. They're the perfect tracks for the after-dinner lull when you're sipping coffee and letting the food coma set in. They balance the album's intensity with just enough groove to keep you hooked. Plus, there's something hilariously on-brand about Animalize being a Thanksgiving record. Think about it. Thanksgiving is about animals. Turkey? Check. Family dog begging for scraps? Double check. The primal chaos of a holiday built around overeating? Triple check. Enter Animalize. The album's wild, unhinged energy feels like a celebration of that same raw, animalistic spirit that Thanksgiving is known for. So yeah, maybe it is unconventional. Maybe your friends are over there spinning smooth jazz or holiday jingles, which is fine, but on Thanksgiving, that's not me. Around this time of the year, I'm queuing up Animalize. It's loud, it's bold, it's messy, and isn't that exactly what Thanksgiving is at its core? Whether you're cooking, cleaning, or just trying to resist joining in with your uncle's questionable political takes and alienating the rest of your family along with him, this album's got your back. So go ahead, put it on, Blast Burn Bitch Burn while carving the turkey, sing along to Get All You Can Take while passing the mashed potatoes, and most importantly, let Animalize remind you to embrace the chaos of the holiday season with a little kiss flair. Long live Animalize. Alright, let's get weird for a second. When you think of Thanksgiving movies, your mind probably jumps to classics like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, or Dutch, or maybe even Home for the Holidays. But what if you're craving a Thanksgiving story that's a little darker, a little creepier, and a little kookier, and a whole lot spookier for that matter? That, my friends, is where Addams Family Values comes in. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't that a Halloween movie? Nope. Trust me when I say this. Addams Family Values may not be a traditional Thanksgiving film, but it's got all the chaos, family dynamics, and biting satire you need to make it the perfect holiday watch. So grab a slice of pie, light a black candle, and let's talk about why this delightfully macabre masterpiece deserves a permanent spot in your Thanksgiving movie rotation. Addams Family Values. Now here's a movie that may not scream Thanksgiving at first glance. It's not about turkeys, road trips, or family reunions gone wrong in the traditional sense, but somehow it's become one of the quintessential Thanksgiving watches. And honestly, I think it might be the most brilliantly accidental Thanksgiving movie ever made. First, let's get one thing out of the way. It's not an actual Thanksgiving movie per se, not in the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or Dutch or Home for the Holidays sense. There's no dinner table drama or mad dash to get home for the holidays, but Addams Family Values captures something much deeper about Thanksgiving. It's a satirical, slightly macabre commentary on family, tradition, and the stories we tell about the holiday's origins. Let's talk about that infamous scene, the iconic Thanksgiving play at Camp Chippewa. You've got Wednesday Addams, the ultimate deadpan truth teller, being forced to perform in a cringeworthy retelling of the Pilgrim's story. It's hilarious and scathing, turning the typical Thanksgiving narrative on its head. Wednesday's speech as Pocahontas is both a sharp critique of history and a cathartic moment of rebellion against forced conformity, especially when she and her fellow outcasts burn Camp Chippewa to the ground. And then there's the family itself. The Addamses may not be your traditional family. They're ghoulish, weird, and gloriously over the top, but they embody the heart of what Thanksgiving is really about. They're loyal to each other, unapologetically themselves, and willing to embrace every flaw and eccentricity. Watching Gomez, Morticia, and the rest of the Addams clan interact is a reminder that family, no matter how unconventional, is what makes any holiday meaningful. They don't care about fitting into society's mold, and that's exactly the kind of energy we should all bring to our Thanksgiving tables. But the magic of Addams Family Values as a Thanksgiving movie goes beyond the holiday play or the family dynamics. It's about the movie's tone, its irreverence, its celebration of the bizarre, and its ability to find humor in the darkest corners of life. Thanksgiving, for many of us, is messy. It's weird relatives, overcooked food, and traditions that sometimes don't make a lick of sense. The Addams Family embraces that messiness and revels in it, reminding us that perfection is overrated and there's beauty in the chaos. Debbie Jelinski, the Black Widow Queen herself, brings pure chaos to the Addams Family household. Her over-the-top, campy charm, paired with her murderous agenda, is the perfect spice to this already twisted family recipe. She's funny, she's fabulous, and let's face it, she's living every relative's secret Thanksgiving fantasy of just snapping when things get to be too much. Debbie's antics may not scream Thanksgiving, but they definitely embody the kind of holiday drama we all secretly love to watch unfold. So no, Addams Family Values isn't technically a Thanksgiving movie, but it doesn't need to be. It captures the spirit of the holiday in its own unique way, through laughter, satire, and the kind of unapologetic weirdness that makes the Addamses so timeless. Every time I watch it during the season, it feels like a warm, albeit slightly creepy, hug, reminding me that the best families are the ones who embrace the strange, the flawed, and the completely unhinged. If you ask me, that's the perfect energy to bring to Thanksgiving. Just leave the matches at home, unless, of course, you're ready to burn it all down in the name of truth like Wednesday did at Camp Chippewa.
Hello guys! Today we're going to talk about Thanksgiving and what we're thankful for and all that stuff. So, I'm thankful for my family and I'm thankful for my friends that come over to like all that stuff. I'm thankful for Garfield's Thanksgiving special. Grandma's literally a really fun character. I also like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I want to make Snoopy's Thanksgiving dinner with the jelly beans, pretzels, and popcorn. Maybe next year. I can't believe Halloween was almost a month ago. It's gonna be Christmas soon. Dad hasn't changed the Halloween wall right there. I just love the character of the grandma in Garfield's Thanksgiving. She's a really fun character. Bye, everybody. See you soon. Oh, wow.
And that's a wrap on TobattoVision's Thanksgiving Day feast. Thank you for joining me and sharing this evening of gratitude, horror, and joy. We hope you felt the warmth of our frightening little family right from the comfort of your own living room, and that today's stories and laughs have added a special flavor to your holiday feast. And don't forget, the spirit of today doesn't end here. Carry the joy, the thankfulness, and the love into the rest of the season. And from all of us here at TobattoVision, have a wonderful Thanksgiving night, and remember, we're thankful for each and every one of you. And with that said, good night, boils and ghouls.
Gather round the table, shadows crawling dark. Turkey on the platter, lifeless eyes that spark. Cranberry sauce dripping like a crimson mark. Stuff and screams with horror tearing souls apart. Feast of dread was screaming in the night. TobattoVision's terror feast, a horrid sight. Thanksgiving's now a nightmare, twisted fright. Run away, the gobbler's got a bite. Pumpkin pie with eyes blinking in the crust. Mashed potatoes bubbling, turning dreams to dust. Candles flicker, eerie, casting shadows just. Gravy like figma in this twisted gust. Feast of dread was screaming in the night. TobattoVision's terror feast, a horrid sight. Thanksgiving's now a nightmare, twisted fright. Run away, the gobbler's got a bite. In the crust, mashed potatoes bubbling, turning dreams to dust. Candles flicker, eerie, casting shadows just. Gravy like thick mud in this twisted gust. Feast of dread was screaming in the night. TobattoVision's terror feast, a horrid sight. Thanksgiving's now a nightmare, twisted fright. Run away, the gobbler's got a bite. Carving knives are dancing in the cabaret. Children's laughter echoes now a twisted play. A cornucopia feels welcome's dismay. Run, it's time to flee this haunted holiday. The feast of dread was screaming in the night. TobattoVision's terror feast, a horrid sight. Thanksgiving's now a nightmare, twisted fright. Run away, the gobbler's got a bite. Pumpkin pie with eyes blinking in the